Hey man, I'm Chris with Phonecats, and here is a magic spoilery deck list. This is Elspeth and the Hall of Champions deck. Dude, this is a 3-color deck, and we're gonna look at it live right now. Here's just a quick scroll through, just to like overwhelm you with a whole bunch of good looking cards. But let's go through these one by one, and just kind of get chatty about them. Our Crossing Squire. This is the card that's going to show them what deck you're playing. 1 mana for a 1/1 Exalted, and that also shows you what deck you're playing. This is an Exalted deck. That's the main theme. I really hope this can hang versus the big 3, and hopefully by the end of this vid we'll have a clue if it is going to be something that can stop those waves of illusions, humans, and zombies or not. You got a little flyer one too. It's 2 mana for a 1/1 flying Exalted, and it's a bird soldier. Kind of dope. This Deaf Duelist is going to be hated by everyone. 2 mana for a 2/1 First Strike and Shroud. God, I wish there were 4 of those, but dropping a turn 2 Deaf Duelist is going to stop so many decks, and that's just going to be something that they're not going to be able to deal with. Zombies are going to have a problem. They're going to lose all their stuff until they can get enough +1s, +1/+1 counters, or +2/+1 counters. Humans, it'll stop them too, and illusions that aren't flying or unblockable will have an issue, and they'll be freaking out that they can't even target it or try to unsummon it. Yeah, I wish there were more of those. Jezian Infiltrator, 2 mana for a 2/2, and this dude is unblockable. I mean, that meshes really well with our theme of Exalted. I wish Deaf Duelist had Exalted. Is that a lady? Oh, that's a lady. Alright, let's keep rolling. You got 1 of these, Knotbind Paladin, 2 mana for a 2/2. Whenever it attacks, it gets +1/+1 for each untapped creature you control. So both of these dudes just mesh really well with the Exalted mechanic. I don't know, there could be just like an Exalted aggro, but some of these other cards we're going to get to are really going to like slow the momentum and make me think that this deck can play the long haul. Alright, Quasali Pride Mage here. 2 mana for a 2/2 Exalted. Sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Apparently that's actually going to become an issue down the line if there is an artifact deck in DOTP 2014. But let's keep rolling. I mean, I just want to kind of rant about how that can mess with the Eldrazi deck, but we'll keep going. Sigil Blessing, surprise, it's a giant growth and a little bit more. It's 1 white, 1 green for an instant. Target creature gets +3/+3, and each other creature you control gets +1/+1. So you're basically paying 1 green for a giant growth, and then 1 white for a +1/+1 buff on every other creature. Little weird, but surprises are always nice for card advantage. Court Archers, this one's a little peculiar. 3 mana for a 1/3. It has reach, so it can block creatures with flying, and Exalted, +1/+1 whenever a creature attacks alone. So it fits the Exalted mechanic, and it has reach, so I don't know, man. It's only a common, which makes me look down upon it, even though I probably shouldn't. I don't know if these are going to make the cut. I really doubt it. It does play into the Exalted thing, to where you just want to be dropping something with Exalted like every turn, but I don't know. You got 1 of these Dauntless Escorts, and he kind of has a little combo with some other mechanics in the deck. 3 mana for a 3/3, not that bad. Sacrifice it, creatures you control are indestructible this turn. It can be a lifesaver against board wipes, and you're playing Exalted, so you're all about having like just all your creatures on the battlefield. This guy is really cool. He's a 1-of. He's way better than the Escort in my opinion, because I want to build this control deck. 3 mana for a 2/2, 1 of each though, that's a little stretchy. It has Exalted, and you can tap him to destroy target creature that damaged you this turn. So every time that your opponent hits you with something, you can tap it and kill it. It won't work against illusions that have hexproof, and it can kind of bite you in the ass if you're playing the zombie deck and you're doing it to like a Geralf's Messenger, but I don't know, man. That seems like a really strong thing, and if you can just keep your life high, we'll get to that later. Okay, you got 2 Guardians of Akrasa. It's 3 mana for a 0/4. I really love walls, dude, and I really love walls in this meta. I'm probably gonna run these guys. It's 3 mana for a 0/4 with Defender, And it's not even technically a wall, it's just defender, and it has exalted. But my god, I love walls. Oh my god, if they made a wall deck, I would lose it. Okay, this is like the dopest card in the whole deck. 3 mana for a 3/3 flyer. It's a legendary angel. You can pay 1 white and 1 colorless to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh my god. So many games are just going to be ended by dropping this on turn 3. And then, I mean, if you went first and you play this, you have this in play and your opponent probably just has 2 lands, which is crazy. And then next turn you just play another plains and then swing in for 5 damage. I don't know. There could be an aggro build for this deck. We'll see how it goes. Oh, this deck has so many good cards. Quazali Ambusher is 3 mana for a 2/3, but don't let that casting cost phase you too much. It has reach, and if a creature is attacking you and you control a forest and a plains, you can play this without paying for it, and you can cast it as if it had flash. Dude, that is so tricky. I wish there was more than one. So let's say your opponent is attacking you. He's playing, of course he's playing illusions, and he swings in with that 2/1 flyer. They don't even see it coming. Gah. It could be counterspelled still or unsummoned, but just dropping this as a surprise is really gonna mess with your opponent. And then once they know about it, every time that they play the deck from then on, they're gonna think that you have that card and you're just gonna surprise drop it. It's so strong. It has reach too, so it can block a creature with flying. Oh my god, I love that card. Oh, this deck has the best 3 drops. I don't know, man. I'm looking at this deck and thinking it's going to be like OP almost, but that's how I felt about Slivers, and that turned out to be like one of the worst, most linear, most predictable decks. I kind of hate it. There's no skill involved. But I do like this Rock's Warmonk. 3 mana for a 3/4 with lifelink. Dude, that's pretty solid. And imagine if you play this on turn 3 and your opponent attacks a lot, and then you Sigil Blessing your Rock's Warmonk. He's a little rhinoceros. And then you give this guy +3/+3, so he's gonna gain you 6 life from lifelink and block some stuff and kill something. I don't know. I might run all 3 of those, dude. I would probably play him if he was a wall. I love walls. Bant Charm, 4 of them. I get excited about Bant Charm, but I'm already reading that people are thinking about running this deck as a 2-color deck and ignoring the Bant Charms and ignoring, look, you lose that. You lose that. Oh no, you lose that. And a whole bunch of random 2-drops. But if you're running all 3 colors, you can run Bant Charms. Notice that we haven't seen any land grabs so far. There's no Cultivates yet, no Rampant Growths. We got 4 Terramorphic Expanse, but man, I don't even know if that's gonna be enough. Anyways, Bant Charm. Crazy card. 1 of each mana, choose 1, destroy an artifact, meh. Put target creature on the bottom of its library, yes. Or counter target instant spell, that's cool too. So diverse. I mean, most people are just going to be using it to deal with a creature, but in that rare situation that you can counter an instant that was clutch, that's so advantageous. I don't know about this Behemoth Sledge. They give you 2 of them also. It's 3 mana, equipped creature gets +2/+2, has lifelink and trample. But I don't know, man. If you can get into a long game, not even that long, but just mid-game with one of these sledges, you're playing an exalted deck. So every turn you can basically just be attacking with your most advantageous creature, equipping this on it, you gain life, it has trample, kind of strong. Okay, this deck has 2 pariahs. This deck has more pariahs than the enchantment deck, than the aura deck. It's crazy. Oh my god, I don't even know how these combos are gonna go yet. Like, I don't even know what the pariah lock is gonna be, but I play the enchantment deck, the white aura deck, as a pariah lock deck and just sprint to a pariah lock. So we'll see what happens with this one. I don't even know what the best situation would be. You don't have something that is invincible, and you don't have things that give your dudes protection from creatures. But 2 pariahs, I don't know, man. That's really heavy. We'll see how that plays out. I just love pariah. So many decks can't deal with it. Okay, Knight of New Alara. We're getting to cards that I don't even know. 4 mana for a 2/2. Each other multicolored creature you control gets +1/+1 for each of its colors. Oh no, that's so crazy. It's not even a legendary, but there's only one of them. Dang. I don't even know what the best play would be now. Turn 1, nothing. I might not even run these squires. I might just run all these crazy cards. Turn 2, Deaf Duelist. Ugh. Turn 3, anything that is 3 colors. But this Asura of War is going to be the sickest. But let's just say this guy too, because either of those are possible. So turn 2, Duelist. Turn 3, Monk. Turn 4, Knight of New Alara. Your Duelist. No, how many +1/+1s does it get? This is crazy. For each of its colors. Oh my god, so your Deaf Duelist. Now let's say it was this dude instead. Either one are sick. Oh my god, each one of your cards are so crazy and have both colors. I'm not gonna run those shitty squires either. I'm playing gold deck. So let's say turn 2 this. Turn 3 this. Right there, which is very easy. Your Infiltrator is a 4/4. Your Warrock's War Monk gets +3/+3, so he's a 6/7. Or if you actually hit your nutsy, where is she? Janara, Asura of War. Wounded soldiers looked up, grateful for her appearance, but she passed over them, her eyes firmly on their foe. Mother of God. Your Janura, Asura of War, would be a 6/6. Oh. So you're swinging in for an unblockable 4. A flying 6. Oh my god. I wish this guy pumped himself up, but he doesn't. Let's keep rolling, but this is already kind of rowdy. Here's something worthy of skipping. 4 mana for a 3/3. When it comes into play, creatures you control get +1/+1. Rafiq of the Many! People were freaking out for this, and I need to read it again to let it sink in. It's 4 mana for a 3/3 Exalted. He's a legendary. You only get 1 of these. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, it gains double strike. And I can see why that is insane. Double strike. So if you actually have him meshing with a Behemoth Sledge, lifelink and double strike and trample are crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, that's heavy. So double strike on every single creature that you attack with, if you only attack with 1. That's strong. Something unblockable is strong. Yeah, you gotta run that Rafiq. Oof, we'll let that one sink in longer. This one seems a little weird to me. They give you a Restoration Angel, so it's the usual thing. 4 mana for a 3/4 flyer flash, and then you can cast it as an instant, like with flash, and then exile target non-angel creature, and then return it. So I haven't seen any like enter the battlefield effects yet. There was one, these guys, when they come into play, so that's a little odd. You wouldn't want to do it to a pariah. I mean, you can basically do it to save a creature, which is worthy. I just want something cool, like a cool effect, and I haven't found it yet, but let's keep moving. Rock's Charger, pull these guys out. I don't think I'm gonna play with them even though they have trample. 4 mana for a 3/3. These look like a card that you would play in sealed if you were building an Exalted deck, but I don't know. I'd rather play all the crazy gold cards. Sublime Angel, this was from the last year's Exalted deck. 4 mana for a 4/3 flyer. Whenever a creature, has Exalted, duh. And then other creatures you control have Exalted. Things can get Exalted twice. I think the previous year, maybe it had 2 of these, because they're so crazy, dude. Yeah, I could get ranty about the new, like, cool Exalted draw, but I really don't even know if I'm gonna run these Squires. Or these, they're both Squires. Yeah, I might take out all Squires. I don't know. Where are we? I love that angel. Faith's Reward, 4 mana, return to the battlefield all permanent cards in your graveyard that were put in there this turn. So they don't even go to your hand. Everything, just put everything back into play that died this turn. So if they swing for this like alpha strike and you block and lose all your dudes, if you have 4 mana open, Faith's Reward, they all come back. It's a counter to All Is Dust. It's a counter to Mutilates and a slew of wipes. But let's keep moving. That's another card for kind of the control-y build. Speaking of the control-y build, Ivory Mask, get out of town, dude. 4 mana, you cannot be the target of spells or abilities. That messes with so much direct damage, so much discard, and that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. It seems strong. It's way better than, I'm trying to compare it to the one card that the enchantment deck has. That's 6 mana for the 6/6 flyer. And then if you become the target of a damage spell, you gain life. But I think this Ivory Mask is way better. Anyways, there's 2 of these crappy eagles. I don't even get it. These may have even been in the promo unlocks. And I don't even know, man. It's 5 mana for a 2/2. And then when it comes into play, a creature gets +2/+2 and flying. That's so bad to me. What are you gonna do? Like play it and then play a Restoration Angel and then be all cute? It seems bad. Wave Skimmer Aven. I don't even know what this one is. 5 mana for a 2/4 flying Exalted. That seems bad. Oh my god, that just seems so bad. I don't know. Maybe if you hit your dude that gives all your dudes +1/+1. I don't know. I really don't care for that. That would make it a 5/7. And that's barely worth it. Whatever. Finest Hour, 5 mana, Exalted. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, if it's the first combat phase, untap that creature, and then there's an additional combat phase. So that's basically like a Relentless Assault for your dude that attacks by itself. If you're doing that with an Infiltrator that's unblockable, that's pretty strong, but otherwise I don't know if I'm going to run that. Gleam of Resistance, here we go. You only get 2 of these, man. Really weird. 5 mana, creatures you control get +1/+2 until end of turn. Untap those creatures. So that's a really cool surprise mechanic, but here's the main deal. It has basic land cycling. So 2 mana, you discard this card, and then search your library for a basic land card. So it's basically a land grab. And that's how most people are gonna run it and play it, unless you already made it to late game and you already got 5 land, and this would be more advantageous. But I can't believe that's the only land grab besides the tap lands. Privileged Position. This one's a little weird, man. 5 mana, and other permanents you control can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent controls. So they basically can't touch anything. If you have this in play, and an Ivory Mask, they can't do anything. It's crazy that if you play this, they can't even target the Ivory Mask. They gotta get Privileged Position out of the way first. Really weird, man. There's so many different ways to build this deck, it already looks like, and I'm gonna play the control version. Mirror Sigil Servant. This one is insane. There's 1 of these. It's a 6-drop. 6-drop for a 4/4 with Trample. Okay, here we go. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a blue permanent, you may put a token into play that's a copy of this. Do you know that people are playing that terrible Chronozoa thinking that it's hot? People play Chronozoa to where you have to wait 3 upkeeps and then you have to let it die. And it has to die. It can't be unsummoned or exiled or anything weird or pacified. These guys, as long as you control a blue permanent, you put a copy of this into play. You know what's gonna happen next turn? Both of them are gonna do it again, dude. It's so crazy. This is a win con. This is so much better than Endless Ranks of the Dead. I'm just like flabbergasted. I feel like I might not even be understanding the card all the way, but if those tokens make more tokens, GG. In a control deck, oh my god, this card is going to be so overpowered the same way that the Eldrazi deck has the what's it called? Avenger? I can't remember. But the one that puts all the tokens into play. This is such a strong card. I'm freaking out. What's this? Skyward Eye Prophets. 6 mana for a 3/3 Vigilance. And then you can tap it, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it into play. Otherwise, put it in your hand. Really dope. This just plays the long game. This deck doesn't have very much draw mechanics to it. So if you have made it this far, then turn 6, you play this. Wow, that's really cool that it is Vigilance, because you can still attack with it, and then wait till the end of your opponent's turn to tap it, and then you're either going to draw a card, or you're going to put a land into play at the end of their turn. The land doesn't even come into play tapped. So if you're hurting, or not even hurting, if you just want to try to surprise your opponent, you can say go, it's their turn, then when they do something, in response to that, tap it. No, it gets even sicker. Your opponent attacks, you block, then activate this dude's ability, tap it, reveal the top card. It's a land, it comes into play. Now I have enough mana to use some crazy instant ability. I don't even know what it would be. All I got is Sigil Blessing. But that's a big deal. That's long game card advantage. God forbid you have this thing into play, so all permanents you control can't be the target of spells or abilities. That's insane. Oh my god. This deck could be good. It's really weird, man. I can't get a feel for it yet, though. You gotta play it. Where are we? Oh my god, there's 2 of those, so you can just bank on playing this long game. I kind of feel like I'm freaking out about these, like they're going to be good, but they could be the same thing as Garruk's deck with his thing that is like 7 mana for a 5/5 to where you draw a card for each creature you control, to where it seems like it would be good card advantage, but it doesn't really pan out. Okay, you got an Iridescent Angel. It's 7 mana for a 4/4, flying, protection from all colors. Little weird because you can't hit it with your own abilities, but I don't know, man. 7 mana, we'll see how that plays out. You're already kind of giving yourself a lot of protection. I don't know what to think about that one yet. You have a also of a Nova Blast Worm. 7 mana, 7/7. When it attacks, destroy all other creatures. That's really crazy. It's a little late for a board wipe, but hopefully you'll be fine by then, or just scraping by so you don't even lose too much. Don't know why this is in here. Devout Invocation. Same thing that's in the human deck. 7 mana, tap any number of creatures you control, put a 4/4 angel into play for each one. A little weird to me. Imperial Archangel. This was in a previous deck also from 2013. A massive 8 mana for a 5/8 flying shroud. All damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to this angel instead. So it has like a pariah effect to it. Really weird with this and 2 pariahs. I don't know where they want us to go. Marshall Coop. Here's another board wipe. Another high casting cost board wipe. I don't know. You can pay 1 mana for X and then put a 1/1 token into play. That's terrible. You can pay 3 mana, so that'd be 5 mana, and put 3 1/1s into play. Or you can pay, if X is 5 or more, you put 5 tokens into play for 7 mana and destroy all other creatures. Really weird with these late game wipes. And as if you were needing another grab, you can... This one's a really high casting cost too, man. It's an X spell. Search your library for a permanent with converted mana cost X or less. So ideally on turn 7, you're going to be grabbing something that costs 4 with a Wargate. And it could be a Knight of New Alara and then swinging for an Alpha Strike. It could be a Rafika the Many. I don't even know what else it would be. But yeah, if you're playing that long game and you hit this, bam, you just get to grab whatever you want. This deck looks really peculiar, man. I don't know if it has enough defense to get to all these meaty spells, but this has been just kind of like a first look at it. If this was your first time seeing these cards, I hope you're like overwhelmed in the same way that I am. And that's it for this vid. I was using Mr. P's deck editor, and I'm gonna keep fiddling around with this. It seems really cool. That's the end of this vid. This has been Elspeth's Hall of Champions deck. I think it's coming out September 18th, and you can buy it in the Magic 2014 expansion. Thanks for watching. Foamcats.